What's going on? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Let's talk about Bonobo and his new album, Fragments. That was released on January 14th. This is studio album number 7 for him and follows 2017's Migration. And Bonobo, been helping us kick back for 20 years now. He's back doing his thing. In general, I like what Bonobo does. Music, very laid back, ambient, ethereal, meditative. It's very easy to listen to. What I'll argue is that artists that are exploring this type of laid back electronic style are facing a pretty big uphill battle, in that as a musician, you want to keep your audience engaged, but fundamentally, the idea of music like this is to hit play and kind of drift off and get lost. And so artists that succeed with music like this, they manage to find a balance in between, both faces. And Bonobo, for the most part, does so, but on this record, it drifts to its detriment in a lot of areas. There's a lot of fat that could be trimmed on this record. It's my number one beef with it. 4 songs on this 12-track list that have a runtime of plus 5 minutes. And so you could trim off a lot of stuff there. I feel like from a production standpoint, you could have a great melody and a lot of things going on musically, but if you let something drift and just linger for 5+ minutes, it's really easy for your listener to just get lost, and not in a good way. And so that's the number one thing for me, is just the production, letting some of these songs linger a little longer. And the biggest thing too is that the Beat Sessions is about album reviews for actual vinyl format. And so with the 51-minute runtime on this thing, you see a lot of artists that are experimenting and playing around with that. And it's cool to a certain degree, but with vinyl being the dominant physical format these days, and with this runtime requiring a 2 LP format, I have my hangups about this. I have seen the package. It's absolutely beautiful. If you are a Bonobo fan, I definitely would encourage you to buy this record because it's a beautiful package. But for the average listener, you're going to end up spending extra money again for a lot of fluff. There's a lot of stuff on here that you could have made this a one-record experience. You could have only, made me flip the record once on this thing, and I think it would have made for a better overall listening experience. It kicks off with Polyghost, definitely an opening style track. I love the harp instrumentation on this, great strings on this song as well. Leads into Shadows, which I think is one of your standout tracks on this record. It's got this gentle beat, beautiful strings again. I would say that is the one fantastic thing about this record, is the string arrangements are gorgeous. Definitely taking inspiration from a lot of Asian orchestration. Think of Chinese traditional orchestration, Japanese traditional orchestration. Really beautiful music in that regard. Your third song, Rosewood, it's got this 90s house feel, but it's still Bonobo. It's still laid back. I really like the balance on that track. It's definitely another good one. Otomo is your 4th track. This is a really cool song. You get those Eastern influences. Beat works in and out, and it hits really hard when it does. Really like that about this track. Tides, your 5th song, mellows out, and then really just a nice adjustment with Jamila on vocals there. Pulls the pace back on the record. This is one of those songs too, Tides and the other one, From You, featuring Joji, where characteristically they don't seem to really fit on this track list as well. They're great songs, but I think they would have fit better in a different project, or maybe just with 8 other better songs around them. Elysian is your 6th track. Beautiful Eastern string arrangement on this song. Again, really dug that. And then 7th track, Closer. This is one of those songs that it's over 5 minutes. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of, from a production standpoint, that you could have done to make this song tighter and just better overall. Age of Phase, great beat and instrumentation, but again, you're dealing with that problem, and that tends to bog down the back end of this record, honestly. From You, your 9th track, nice variation as far as the music. And Sapiens, your 11th song, and I really like this track. This is one of the few examples where you see Bonobo working with the instrumentation, and this song is mysterious, but it's also inviting. It's also enticing you and pulling you in. And so I like that about that particular song, and when he's able to make that happen with his music, he's killing it. But there's just not enough on this record, and especially for a double LP package, for me to want to pull the trigger on this. So sadly, I'm going to have to vinyl pass on this thing. I hope you enjoy listening to this record, though. Hope you find this review helpful as well. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things to help me blow this project up in 2022. And stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.